Okay, this is the Tampa Bay wallpaper installer with the last segment of this beautiful grass cloth and shell installation. So this was my first sheet of paper on this wall here. Now this is a factory edge of this wall covering, but even though it's perfectly plumb, there is a differential between the reveal or the gap between the wall covering and the wall in the middle than there is either at the bottom or at the top. And the reveal is that black line that you see right in between the wall covering and the wall. Now, you want to make it look beautiful? Fill it in. And I'm just going to show you, this is, although this is a more perfect cut because it's a factory cut, nonetheless, it still gives us an ugly reveal where light gets trapped, and we want to eliminate that by putting a seal in there by caulking it and then painting it. So I want to show you how I'm going to do that, but I have to put you over here. So you just bear with me and I'll show you the effect afterwards, okay? So same procedure, I'm going to label this 1 and 2. This will be 2 of 2. And same thing, I'm going to use my clear caulking from Sherwin-Williams. And it's got to be clear. Do not use a colored caulking unless you're going to have the color. The edge of the caulking is the color you can see. You're going to put a generous right in the corner. You have to cut the corner of your caulking gun with a point so that you don't want a big blob of caulking coming out. 3/16 tops. This is actually 1/8. But the tops you want 3/16, no more than that. So you want to cut a nice small hole in your caulking gun. No, I mean your caulking tube. Okay, so with a wet rag in your hand, a wet finger, you're just going to swipe down. Keep wiping it off so you don't make a mess. Knock down any ridges where your finger, the edge of your finger, is going to cause a ridge. So you want to knock that down. Put your finger as close to the wall as you can so that when you swipe it, you're also knocking down the ridge that your finger makes by wiping it, okay? Keep dragging it until you see the whole ridge disappear and you have an even amount of caulking down the line. Okay, so where is that paper coming from? If you're watching step 2 without step 1, I use my hand masker, which is simply a little tool that reels tape onto paper, and then you can mask just about anything. Now, you want to use a very wet brush. It's got to be... You don't want to be pressing your brush into this. It's really a repair. So, you got to be delicate. Now, even though this side is perfectly dry, you could still compromise the seal that I just made with this caulking by pushing the paint underneath the caulking. So you want to use a very fine brush, an expensive one, not a cheap brush, so that the bristles go where you want them to go. And then you just gingerly push that paint into that new reveal that you're making. Okay? I'm going fast, but I don't want you to go fast. If you do this, I want you to go slower, according to your skill level. Okay, so ideally, if you're new at this, just go in one direction, because that'll eliminate a lot of pressure on the joint that you're making. So you would go like this in one direction, but I'm going to just pull it down in 2. If you go in 2, you might be tempted to force it in, and I'd rather you just go in one direction. Okay, we will see how this looks. You see what you're doing by using clear is you're painting the caulking too. What you're doing here is you're bridging the wall and the wall covering together so that there's no gap. And that's what your caulking is for. It joins the surfaces. The tape masks the rest of the wall covering so you don't get it anywhere else. And now to take it off, This is the last skill you're gonna need. And you gotta take it down, remembering that the wall covering is fairly new. Yesterday it was installed. And you just wanna be careful, that's all. That's all I want you to do, nice and easy. Okay, nice. Now, let's see how I did. Okay, sure I'm done with that. Now, I'm going to bring you up close so that you can see the whole deal. Okay? Hopefully this camera doesn't shut off while I'm doing this. All right, how's that? Unfortunately, I don't have the time to edit these videos. Who does, right? Okay, how's that? Now, I'm going to hold the wallpaper down as I'm pulling the tape because remember, you're pulling on wallpaper, even though it was installed yesterday. Even though it was installed yesterday, it's a tender, it's like a wound. It's got a cure. The glue has a cure time. Now I want to show you that, look at the direction in which I'm pulling my tape, okay? You take note of that, because that's important. The manner in which I'm pulling this tape is the least offensive to the wall covering. Look at the angle at which I'm pulling. I'm pulling it practically parallel against the wall covering. If I were to pull out away from the wall, what would you think would happen? It would pull the wallpaper out. So I'm stressing the wallpaper the least by simply pulling the tape parallel to the wall. Like I'm not giving it any reason to come off the wall. Okay? And it's doing very well. Now the last one, you want to pull it quick and just kind of run away from the wall so that it doesn't get on the wall. And there you have it. I'll just wipe my hand and show you the new corner that we just created there. Look at that. Have you ever seen anything so beautiful? Right or wrong? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So now, that's how you render a perfectly beautiful corner when you're dealing with. Now, you don't want to cheat and do that on your typical wallpaper. You should be able to make a perfect cut line in your corners and on your edges. This is an atypical wall covering installation. This is something that gives you somewhat of a jagged edge because you're dealing with shells from the sea. And so cutting through that, it doesn't give you a perfect cut. So you have to improvise and come up with this solution, and that is the solution. So there you have it. Now I'm going to do that on the white. I don't think I will videotape that because there's no need to. You know how to do it. Okay? So if you like this video, if it gave you some assistance in your project, click on like, subscribe to my channel, and pass it along. Thank you.